Whether we like it or not, there's a game of power being played all around us every single day. And a lot of the time, the rules aren't written down anywhere. So today, we're opening up the playbook. We're diving into the controversial and, let's be honest, timeless strategies from the 48 Laws of Power to really understand the hidden forces that shape our world.
So, the book's big idea is that our modern world, with all its talk about fairness and being upfront, actually operates a lot like the royal courts of the past. On the surface, yeah, there are pleasantries, the rules of decorum, and everyone's supposed to play nice.
But underneath all that, it's a totally different story. And here's the crucial part. Ignoring these unspoken rules of power isn't just being naive. It can be a massive, even fatal mistake.
And this is where things get, well, a little uncomfortable. This quote from Machiavelli really forces us to ask a tough question. Is just being a good, decent person always enough to protect yourself, let alone get ahead in the world? The book's answer is a hard no.
This slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? On one side, you've got the world we all wish we lived in, one built on fairness, decency, transparency. But the world this book describes is different. It's a world of power plays, of hidden envy and careful deception. It's a world where being strategic isn't just an advantage, it's essential for survival.
So, if that's the game board, how do you play? How do you not just survive, but actually thrive? Well, let's start with defense. Let's talk about mastering the art of protecting yourself and your position.
And that brings us to law number 1, which is, honestly, maybe the most important one in the whole book. This isn't just about kissing up to your boss. It's way deeper. It's about understanding the psychology of insecurity. See, when you make your superiors feel insecure, you trigger this primal fear that they're about to be replaced. And that is one of the biggest mistakes you can ever make. And there's a perfect and pretty brutal historical example that shows just how high the stakes are. So get this, Nicolas Fouquet, the finance minister in France, threw this party that was so incredible, so spectacular, it actually made his boss, King Louis XIV, look bad. It made him feel upstaged. The very next day, Fouquet was arrested on completely made-up charges and spent the rest of his life in a dungeon. He outshone the master, and he paid the ultimate price for it. So what's the lesson here? It's actually pretty simple. Your goal should be to make your superiors look more brilliant. Make them shine. Because when they shine, their power reflects back on you. You don't showcase your own brilliance at their expense.
All right, let's talk about another key defensive move, the power of silence. The more you talk, the more you risk saying something foolish, something that gives away your true intentions or makes you look common. And you know who was an absolute master of this? The very same guy, King Louis XIV. By saying very little and using these vague, non-committal phrases like "I shall see," he kept his entire court on edge, constantly trying to figure him out. His silence was a weapon. It made him seem powerful, mysterious, and totally unpredictable.
Okay, so defense is covered. You know how to protect your position. But you don't just want to play defense forever, right? So let's flip the script. Let's talk about going on the offensive, subtly wielding your influence and mastering the arts of strategy.
Now, this next law might just change how you see a pretty famous rivalry. According to the book, Thomas Edison was less of a lone scientific genius and more of a really savvy operator. He was brilliant at getting other brilliant people, like Nikola Tesla, to do the heavy lifting, and then he would swoop in, capitalize on their work, and take all the credit.
This one is huge, especially when you need to get people on your side. When you ask for help, don't talk about gratitude or loyalty or past favors. Forget all that. Instead, frame your request around what they have to gain from helping you.
And this old story from ancient Greece just nails this concept. Athens had to choose an ally. The Corinthians came in and said, "Hey, you owe us for past favors." They tried to guilt them. But the Corcyraeans, they came in and said, "Look, an alliance with us is a win-win. It's a great deal for your future." Who do you think Athens chose? The win-win deal. Every single time.
Okay, so we've covered defense, we've covered offense, but those are just tactics, right? They're moves in the moment. Real power, true mastery of the game, comes from playing the long game, from seeing the entire chessboard, not just the next move. This one is simple but absolutely critical. Your reputation is everything. It's the cornerstone of your power. You have to build it meticulously, piece by piece, and then you have to defend it with your life. Because once a reputation is seriously damaged, it's almost impossible to fully repair. Think about it.
A powerful reputation literally walks into the room before you do. It can win battles for you before they even start. During World War II, the German general Erwin Rommel was so famous for being clever and deceptive that his enemies were often second-guessing themselves and making mistakes before a single shot was ever fired. His reputation was a weapon.
And this is all about foresight. So many people get caught up in the excitement of a new plan. They score a quick victory and they celebrate. But they don't think 2, 3, 10 steps ahead. The book says the ending is everything. You have to think through all the possible consequences, all the potential obstacles, all the ways things could go wrong.
This quote is just so powerful, isn't it? It captures that folly of short-term thinking perfectly. We're down here celebrating our little wins, totally blind to the disaster that might be waiting just around the corner. The truly powerful learn to see the entire story, not just the first chapter.
Okay, so let's bring all this home. Because these laws, they aren't just a simple checklist of do's and don'ts. They're all pieces of a much bigger puzzle. They're components of a broader, more fluid, strategic way of thinking.
This right here is the core mindset. It's not about memorizing 48 rules, it's about being fluid, like water, able to adapt to any situation. It's about having that iron hand inside a velvet glove. You have strength, but it's hidden behind a gentle, courteous exterior. It means mastering indirection and understanding that the face you show the world is a tool, a mask you put on for the occasion. And above all, it's about shifting your entire perspective to see the whole board, to calculate every possible move, every pitfall, way in advance.
So, after all of this, what's the big takeaway? It's this: the world is a grand stage, and you're an actor on it. Now you can just accept the role that society hands you, or you can choose your own. Understanding these dynamics of power gives you the freedom to write your own script. Now look, I get it. Some of this can sound a little cynical, a little dark, but this isn't about being a bad person. It's about being effective. It's about protecting yourself from people who would happily use these tactics against you, and it's about empowering yourself to actually achieve your goals. It's about upgrading your life by understanding the world as it is, not just as you wish it were.
Hey, if you found these insights valuable, if this helped you see the game a little more clearly, then do us a favor and like this explainer. And make sure you subscribe for more insights like this. And of course, share it with anyone in your life, friends, family, who's ready to upgrade their life. Thanks for watching.